Hey everybody, welcome to your yoga class. We have a special treat for you today. Rachel Hall is going to be demonstrating. I will be cueing. This is a fundamental yoga class that covers a lot of the common asanas that you see in other flows. So let's get started, shall we? Starting in tabletop position. Neutral spine. Let's prep the body. Exhale, scoop the belly around the spine. This is your cat pose. Inhale, drop the chest, shine the heart. Cow pose. Two more. Exhale, scoop, round, curl. Inhale, drop the chest, shine the heart, shoulder blades slide down the back body. Last one, exhale, scoop. You can push the shins into the mat, hands into the mat. Inhale, arch, drop chest, shine heart. Come back into neutral spine. So neutral spine is just the natural curvature of the spine. So you're not over tightening nor dumping into the back. You're right in the middle like Goldilocks. Exhale, tuck back toes, downward facing dog. Pedal the dog out on the first go round. So pedal right, pedal left, dropping the knees side to side. The hips can even get involved. You can imagine you're at the beach and you're picking up your feet and putting them in the sand. Feet hip width, hands shoulder width. Shoulders obviously are down the back. The spine is long, looking towards the thighs and or the tops of the feet. On your next little dip of the hip, finish in downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, just imagine the spine and the hamstrings lengthening down the back. The heels can touch or not touch, and ideally they should almost not touch. You're always striving for a little more length. The hips are pushing up and back. Inhale, right leg high to the sky. We're going to work through this movement. Exhale, step into dragon lunge. Inhale, three-legged dog, kick straight back and up. The hip is pointing down, the heel is flexed. And then exhale, dragon lunge. One more time. Inhale, three-legged. Feels good. Expand the body. Exhale as you contract, coming into dragon lunge. High on the back ball of the foot, knee stacked over ankle, spine hitting the neutral position, back of the neck long. You can look to the front or slightly forward of the mat. We are going to work into a wide-legged warrior one. Back heel is going to drop 45 degree. Inhale, reach the arms up, warrior one. As you exhale, touch the floor with the fingertips of the palms. Inhale, warrior one, reaching high to the sky. Exhale, tap to the floor. Inhale, warrior one, using your breath as a way to move the body. Exhale, touch the floor. Last one, inhale, warrior one. Some finer points on warrior ones, as this is the fundamental. The shoulders are down the back body. The arms are up, the chest is up. Shoulders and hips square to the front room or the front wall or your mirror. This is your warrior one. The stance isn't too long, nor is it too short. The back foot is pointing almost forward at a 45-degree angle. Take a big inhale as you exhale, plant both palms, step straight back into a plank position. We're going to work our way into up dog, but drop the knees first. Flip to the tops of the feet, lower all the way down to the belly. Warming up with cobra, so elbows track towards the hips, tops of the feet press firmly into the mat. Inhale, cobra, making an L shape with the arms. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra, elbows track back towards hips, chest lifts up. Exhale, drop it down. Notice that you don't have to come up too high on this one. Inhale, cobra, hold here, breathe, squeeze glutes, use the lower back, making that 90-degree shape with the elbows. Exhale, drop it on down, flip to the balls of the feet, squeeze the legs. So imagine your legs in a vice, core, glutes, push straight into plank position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet hip width, hand shoulder width. You got that, right? Now we're going to add on to your down dog so you can learn better technique and keep on making little improvements. Press into the thumb and index finger. So you have feet hip width, hand shoulder width, pressing actively into the thumb and index finger. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, step into dragon lunge, a big dragon lunge, so left foot outside left pinky. Inhale, three-legged dog, hip points down. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, three-legged dog, breathing into the body, expansion. Exhale, contraction, coming into dragon lunge. Back heel is lifted. Notice that almost a vertical line with the back heel. The knee is stacked over the ankle. Toe can be slightly turned out. Spine is neutral, but the core is engaged. On your next inhale, you're going to sneak the back in a little bit, dropping into a 45-degree. Warrior one, arms straight up, chest up. Exhale, touch the floor with the fingertips or the palms. Inhale, warrior warrior one, arms. Exhale, dropping the hands down firmly into the mat. Inhale, warrior one, breathing into the body. Exhale, plant the palms. Last one, inhale, warrior one, and hold. Some finer points on warrior one. We know that the hips and shoulders have to be square, but as your shoulders slide down the back body, can you rotate your biceps inward? It'll turn your pinkies inward, so you're rotating out from the biceps, arms still reaching up, lats are engaged. Now lengthen through the hips as if you're 7 feet tall, legs don't move. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, drop both palms. Step back into plank position, working this in stages. Drop both knees, flip to the tops of the feet, lower down halfway, making the L shape. In this position, inhale, circle sweep up into upward facing dog. Thighs can be off the floor or on the floor. Exhale, tuck back toes, downward facing dog. Bring the feet really wide as the mat. Look forward and bring the thumbs together. Working this in stages as well. Exhale, bend the knees and drop as low as you can. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend knees. Inhale, straighten. So this is your prep pose. You're loading up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Last one. Exhale, bend. Look forward. Walk, jump, or step, float. Feet outside the hands, coming into Malasana. Very nice. On your next inhale, drop your right palm to the floor. Expand your left arm up as if you have wings. Taking a big inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center, and just transfer to the other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, other side, drop right palm, reach left arm up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Other side, inhale, expand. Exhale, hands, heart center. Last one on each side. Inhale, hold here. So notice she's looking up towards the palm. The arms are wide open. The weight's towards the back heels. Spine is still long. No congestion in the shoulders or the neck. Exhale, hands to heart center. Other side, transfer weight to your left heel, left palm. Heels grounded. And don't worry if you can't rotate too much, maybe just expand the arms up. On your next exhale, come back, hands come toward heart center. If you have a block, you can use a block for this next movement, but you might not need a block. So let me know if this is too far or too close for your head. All right, so doing this frog pose style, or more traditionally known as crow, depending on how sweaty you are at this point. Plant your palms. Lean forward, so you're going to bring the knees high up on the triceps. Hips are way up, you're on the balls of the feet. The block can be there if you need it. You're going to lean forward, lifting up one toe, two toe. If you needed to, you could put your forehead on the block, but obviously Rachel doesn't need it. Squeezing the core, hold for 3, 2, step back, low chaturanga. Woo, or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the next go around, Rachel will demo with the block just so you can see it. Inhale, three-legged dog. Right leg high to the sky. Exhale, coming into low lunge. Back heel lifted, front knee stacked. Inhale, warrior two. Breathing here. Make sure the arms are wide. Energy coming out through the fingertips. Back leg is engaged, so that means you're driving the outside edge of the left foot into the mat. The right knee is stacked over ankle, and the spine is vertical. So the spine should be like this. As you can tell, Rachel's is right between her hips. She's not leaning too far forward or back. Breathing into the body, we're going to move through this little movement from warrior two. Flip your palm, reach up, and then back. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, back into warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. The legs don't have to change. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Last one. Inhale, reach back and hold. On your reverse warrior, very little weight will be in the left hand. So it's just there as kind of as a place marker. The right arm is reaching up and back, and notice that the shoulders are relaxed. The chin is going towards the ceiling, so there is a slight rotation happening. The knee is still stacked over the ankle, and the rib cage is kind of knitted in. The bicep can even rotate slightly inward. Shoulders relaxed down the back. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, place your right forearm on the thigh. Left arm can reach up and over. So level one would be the arm going straight up, which is nice. Level two would be here, right? So you're reaching more towards the front of the room or the wall, making a straight line from the wrist, shoulder, hip, knee, all the way down to the foot. Inhale, come back into reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. And just working that range. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Last one, inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle, and hold. One note on the side angle, make sure that there is space between your shoulder and your cheek. So you're actually making a brace with your right arm, creating that 90-degree angle, which is going to be useful in helping a lot of the movement stay geometrical. On your next inhale, come into Warrior Two. You know to keep your arms wide, spine tall. As you exhale, windmill your arms down into a low lunge. Your arms will frame the foot. A little bit of a core challenge. Plant your left palm firmly into the mat, squeezing the core. Look back behind you and then transfer the weight to the outside edge of the right foot, stepping into side plank. Option to reach the arm up. 3 breaths. This is the first one. Stage 1 is here. You can also modify by taking a knee if you needed to, like so. Stage 2 or 3 would be a little bit higher level if you're in side plank. On your last breath, option to reach the top foot up, making a star shape pose. Take a big inhale as you exhale, coming into plank position. Now the full vinyasa, you're going to stay in plank, going from a high push-up to a low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hips go up and back. Right to the other side. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, Warrior Two. So you're going to get a nice view from this side. So again, notice Rachel's spine is right in the middle. The arms are wide. The alignment with the feet, pretty much heel to heel. That's what you roll with, right? The heel to heel alignment. The knee is stacked. The thigh is almost parallel with the floor. There is still length in the hips, and the smaller the back, it shouldn't feel like it's crunched up. It should feel like it's lengthening up towards the sky as the shoulders slide down the back. Take a big inhale, flip your left palm, reach forward, up and back, reverse warrior. We're going to move in and out of this just to feel the motion. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Notice the arm goes up and back. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Warrior Two. Last one, inhale, reverse warrior. Breathe here. So notice the knee is still stacked over the ankle. There's very little weight in the back hand. In fact, she could hover it if she wanted to. You're looking up towards the ceiling or the bicep or the pinky. The chest is going to rotate open slightly as you lengthen through the hips. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, left forearm goes to thigh. Right arm can reach up, which is level 1. Level 2 would be reaching more towards the front of the room or the wall. Inhale, reverse warrior, just to work through this motion. Exhale, coming into side angle. Forearm goes to thigh, making that nice little frame. Inhale, reverse, breathing into the body. Exhale, side angle. Holding here, making a straight line if you are in stage 2. From the wrist, through the shoulder, into the hip, into the foot. Opening up the body. The shoulders, as you can see, are slid down the back so there's no congestion looking up towards the palm or the pinky. Take a big inhale. Exhale, coming into Warrior Two. Breathing here. Inhale. As you exhale, windmill your arms down. Low lunge. So back heel lifted, front knee stacked. Place the right palm into the mat. Your body and torso are going to rotate as you step back. Left foot on top of right. You know the modification. If you need it, you can drop the knee. If not, holding, squeezing the core, the head between the shoulders, spine long, body in cylinder. Option, if you're looking for more challenge, pick up the back foot, squeezing the core. You're pressing the palm actively into the mat so the side oblique is lit up. One more inhale. One breath, one movement. Exhale, plant the palm. Take your vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck back toes, hips up and back. We're going to do one breath, one movement with all of that, starting from the Warrior One, crow, Warrior Two, and the Warrior Two flow, and a nice little bonus run at the end. So here we go. Downward facing dog, feet hip width, hand shoulder width apart, spine long. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, wide-legged Warrior One, arms reach up. Exhale, plant the palm, step back, downward dog. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg high. Exhale, dragon lunge. Inhale, Warrior One. Exhale, vinyasa, plant the palm, step back, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the feet wide, thumbs together. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, bend both knees. Look outside the hands. Jump, walk, or float. Coming into Malasana, adding on. Inhale, transfer the weight to the right hand, right foot. Arms reach up. Option to reach around and give yourself a bind position. Clasping the hands. Inhale like you're wringing out a towel. Exhale, come back to center. Unwind, unravel, transfer the weight to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Maybe stay here. Otherwise, clasp, capture. Inhale again, wringing it out. Exhale, contraction, just release. Come back to center. I'm going to place the block underneath Rachel's feet on crow pose so you can see how you can use it as a way to help you get into crow pose. Here we go. So leaning forward, you're going to plant both palms. Placing the block behind you if you need it, and you can place one toe on the block plus two toe on the block. This is to help elevate your hips, leaning forward, squeezing the knees against the triceps. Option to lift one toe or two toe or your tap toes, just like that. So it'll kind of help you feel stable and secure. But if you don't need the block, both heels will lift. Holding here, core tight, balancing head with hips. On your next exhale, jump back into low chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath, one movement with our warrior two flow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, stepping between the hands. Inhale, warrior two. Arms spread out. Exhale, flip palm. Inhale, reach forward, up and back. Exhale, forearm goes to thigh. Left arm shoots up or towards the front. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, plant left palm, step back, side plank position. Inhale, lift up arm or lift up arm to the sky. Exhale, coming through vinyasa, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, stepping into low lunge. Inhale, warrior two. Breathe here. On your next inhale, flip your left palm, reach up, back. Reverse warrior, exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, plant right palm. Step back, side plank position. Inhale, reach. Exhale, plant the palm, take a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Finish in downward facing dog. Little bonus round to strengthen the core. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to right tricep, lean forward, squeeze the core. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow, squeeze core, contract. Inhale, back to three-legged dog. Little bonus round. I'll talk you through this. Exhale, bring the knee to the right tricep, lean forward. Let it slide up to the shoulder. Option to drop hips low as you bend the elbows, making a shelf with the left hip, left elbow, leaning forward, transferring the weight to the hand, picking up the left leg long, coming into hurdlers, running man, running woman. Breathing here, one more breath. On your next exhale, step back. Three-legged dog, right leg down, other side right away. So we're going to throw that into the mix on the second round. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to left tricep, squeeze. Body will shift forward. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, notice that the body shifts forward as she comes to the opposite elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Now here we go. Exhale, lean forward, knee to tricep. Stage one. Stage two, slide it towards the shoulder. Stage three, make an L shape with the arm. So notice the 90-degree angle coming back into play. The right leg will hover as the knee is out to the side, squeezing the core, making a brace with the left elbow against the left thigh. On your next exhale, plant the toe. Step back, three-legged dog. Inhale as you exhale. Boom. Drop both knees to the mat. We're going to do a little breath pattern because we do incorporate pranayama, breathing exercises into yoga. And this one's a simple one, which is a nice one actually. You're going to take your middle finger. Rachel will turn to face you, and your thumb. Your middle finger is going to block off your left nostril, and your thumb will block off your right nostril. So those are the ones that you're going to use to regulate where the air is coming into and out of. We're going to start with the right nostril, and you're going to inhale through the right nostril as you block off the left. Inhale. As you exhale, block off the right as you exhale through the left nostril. Keeping the left nostril open, inhale through the left. block off the right, exhale through the right. We'll do 2 more sets. Inhale through the right, all the way to the belly, block it off. Exhale, deflate. Keep the left nostril open. Inhale through the left, fill up, block it off. Exhale through the right. Last one, inhale through the right, block it off, exhale through the left, inhale through the left, keeping the right blocked off, exhale through the right, and palms up. So it's a good way to tap back into the parasympathetic nervous system, so you can switch from, active to rest. Kind of gets the nervous system back under control. We are going to flow that Warrior 2 series one more time with the add-on of the hurdlers. So let's start from the beginning, coming into tabletop position. Not too fast, not too slow, but now we are going to get a little more fluid. This is fundamental, so it covers the fundamentals that you're going to see in a lot of our infinity flows, but we're really focusing on the posture, alignment, and movement itself. Tuck back toes, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, low lunge, knee stacked over ankle, back heel lifted. Inhale, Warrior 2. Breathe here. Inhale, flip right palm, reach up and back. Exhale, side angle, forearm to thigh. Spine is still long. Inhale, Warrior 2. 1 breath, 1 movement. Exhale, plant your palm, step back into side plank. This is a great way to learn transitions. Inhale, reach or stretch. Exhale, plant the palm, take a vinyasa, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, listen for it. Right leg high to the sky. Exhale, knee to tricep. Option to stay here for 3 breaths. Otherwise, shift your weight forward. You're going to make a brace, so dropping the left elbow towards the left hip, right elbow towards the right inner thigh. You got about 1 more breath left. Option to jump or shoot it back. 3-legged dog on the inhale. Exhale, coming back to downward facing dog. Relief is coming up. Inhale, left leg high to the sky. Exhale, low lunge. Windmill, inhale, right followed by left, coming into Warrior 2. Breathing here. Inhale, flip the palm, reach up and back, reverse warrior. Exhale, forearm to thigh, side angle. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, half a windmill, right hand goes down, stepping straight back into side plank. Brace and squeeze the core. Inhale, option to lift the leg or just stretch and reach. Exhale, take a vinyasa, high to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to tricep. Hold here for 3 breaths, strengthening your core. Otherwise, shift the weight forward. Transfer the front of the body towards the arms. You got about 1.5 breaths left. Option to point the feet. Right leg is high. Exhale, stepping back. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, plant the toe. Drop the knees. Sit the hips back towards the heel. We'll do 1 more pranayama exercise so that you can get an active belly. Breath of fire. The idea that you're going to have is that you're blowing out a birthday cake with your mouth, right? So the birthday cake's in front of you. You're going to blow it out. Little option or added bonus, hands can reach up. You're going to make a fist, and as you make the fist, the fingers are going to wrap around the thumb, and you're going to contract your pelvic floor at the same time. We start in 3, hands up in 2, contract in 1, and exhale. Keep going, snap the belly in. I'm gonna start counting you down. The belly snaps in like a snare drum. The spine is long. Count down, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 40. Keep it going, keep it flowing. 30, 20, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so that was your fundamental flow. We are going to finish off with back bend, a mini back bend, and a twist of some sort, which is a good move to put into any workout or any yoga practice that you have. Super healthy for the spine. So we're going to keep it simple for our first fundamental, laying flat on the back. We'll do 3 of these, so option to do the modified variation for all of them, or you can progress slowly in stages depending on where you're feeling today with your spine. So feet, hip width, bring the heels really close to the glutes. That's going to be your go-to setup for any of the bridge or wheel series. They have to be so close that your fingers can touch the backs of the heels. The knees are going to stay relatively parallel because they're going to open up a little bit as you pick the hips up. So the more parallel they are, the better off you are. On your inhale, press the hips straight up. Palms are flat. Notice the chest. I want you to wheel the chest open. Even though your shoulders are going to stay on the ground, you don't want your chest to concave. You want everything to start wheeling open. Hips are really up. Option to interlock the fingers underneath the back. Finer point on this one, just make sure you stay flat on the shoulder blades so you're not on the edge of the shoulder blades. One more inhale. As you exhale, lower down. A little bit of self-control, discipline, focus. Don't move your feet. Keep them where they are. Feet and knees stay where they are. Avoid the feeling to shift or pivot or adjust. That was stage 1. Do that stage again if you're like, okay, that's where I'm at right now with my spine. Otherwise, we're going to work into wheel. The first stage is you're going to plant the hands by your head. The elbows, they're not going to stay out. They're going to draw in and down towards the hips. Our first step on this one, we're just going to go to the crown of the head, the top of the head. The weight is going to stay in the hands. On your next inhale, lift the hips up, pressing into the palms, going to the crown of the head. There's very little weight on her neck, right? In fact, one could argue the majority of the weight's on her arms or her palms. Pressing down to the feet. Notice that the knees did splay out a little bit. We're going to be here for one more breath, just to get that feeling of the weight transferring into the hands before we do the full expression, which is not coming up yet. On your next exhale, same way you came into it. Knees don't move, hips don't move, hands can go to the belly, soften the neck. So stage 1, you have your bridge. Stage 2, you have just the top of the head with the weight on the hands, so you're actually pressing actively through the feet and the hands. The last one, you're going to plant your palms. Again, the elbows go in, and as if they're drawing down towards the hips, you're going to press into the feet and the hands. Use your breath. On your next inhale, press straight up. Hips, chest. Notice it wheels open. Finer points, pressing through the feet. The hips go up towards the ceiling. The chest goes back towards the wall. Neck is relaxed. You get about one more breath here. There is no congestion in the body. It is freedom from the feet into the hands. On your next exhale, slowly drop it down, bringing it down the exact same way you came in. Now your feet aren't going to move, but you are going to allow your knees to knock in. This will allow the spine to reset. You could also lay flat, but just whatever you do, just think of your spine decompressing naturally and relaxing for a second in neutral position before we move on to the next stage. We are going to do one more fundamental, which will be legs going straight to the ceiling, setting you up for shoulder stand. Now this is stage 1 for it, because you got to just get used to the legs going up, reversing the blood flow as it were, or you can start to work your way into shoulder stand, which is going to start with making a strong base with your arms. So the hips and the legs will bend the knees slightly, knees will track towards the forehead, so you can make a shelf. So that's stage 2. Right? Because now she's making a shelf. She's got the 90-degree, which comes into play into Cobra, comes into play into Chaturanga, hurdlers. It's going to be all over the place. Option to stay here, or once you have the base, you're going to send the legs straight up towards the ceiling, making a straight line. The weight is on the shoulders and on the triceps. This is your platform. Very little weight on the neck. If she wanted to, she could talk. I know she can breathe freely because I can hear her. The legs go straight up towards the ceiling, making a straight line. Beautiful. Once you have that, you're going to slowly control and descend, drawing the legs back behind you, coming into plow. If your feet don't touch, that's all good. You might be right here, which is fine, but if your feet touch, let your toes flex slightly, which will send the hips slightly back, but the back of the neck is still long. There's very little weight in the neck. Again, she can breathe freely. There is a circular freedom with the breath. The palms can be flat. So you had your shoulder stand, you have your plow, now you have your deaf man, deaf woman, which if you go to a yoga class at a studio, you're going to hear that. Or if you're doing your own practice, it's always good to know the finer points, which is start by bending the knees. The knees will come towards the ears. Tops of the feet can be on the mat. Palms can stay flat, or you can reach back towards the heels. One key point on this particular asana is to relax, because if you try to hold on to a thought or a feeling, it's going to stiffen you up. Keeping the weight on the shoulders, softening the belly, we're going to use our core to decelerate into the final Shavasana. But before we do Shavasana, we got a twist to do. So as you exhale, start drawing the knees just towards the center of the body, right? So you had a little bit of a back bending, right? Extension of the spine, a little flexion of the spine with the shoulder stand and plow. And now we're decelerating using the core to control. Legs will go straight towards the ceiling. Keeping it simple because we just want you to work on the fundamentals. Bend both knees, tee out the arms. On your next inhale, breathe. And as you exhale, twist on over to the right. Dropping the knees, the hips. This is a good time for a block too, so if you feel like your hips are really tight, you can always place a block underneath the thigh. If your mobility is there, you can look to the opposite shoulder. So you're kind of doing, imagine that you're doing this with the spine, right? And it's just, your breath is doing it and gravity. So every inhale you expand, on every exhale you let something go, or you relax a back muscle, you relax a neck, shoulders, hips, wringing everything out. Because on the next inhale, when you come back to center, you're going to be bringing hydration and nutrition to the spine because you just wrung everything out and then you released it. All that came back in. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, the knees drop to the opposite direction. I like, and I think Rachel likes too, the knee being in line with the hip. And again, if your hips are super tight, you can always put a block underneath the thigh or the leg. She's looking towards opposite shoulder. You can look to opposite shoulder or look towards the ceiling. Just make sure that both of your shoulders are flat on the mat. If your shoulders pop off, just back up off the twist a little bit. You're good to go. Take a big inhale, expand. As you exhale, wring out the spine by letting your breath travel all the way to the back. Take another inhale. Exhale, wring it out. On your next inhale, coming back to center. One good reset for all of this after you do spine, hips, and whatnot is coming to happy baby, which is kind of like doing a squat, but you are laying on your back. So the heels are going to face towards the ceiling. You can grab the outside edges of the feet, inside edges, or the peace fingers go to big toe. And then the knees track towards the mat outside of the rib cage, kind of resetting the spine. And on the very last one, now hug both knees to the chest, give yourself a squeeze. You're going to lay out into final Shavasana. If you're brand new to yoga, we will talk a little bit of premise or philosophy behind the idea for Shavasana. One is the end of class. Ideally, a yoga practice would get you ready for meditation because you've kind of quieted the mind and have been able to come into the correct space necessary for meditation, which is a certain amount of stillness in the mind. Also, in yoga, there's this idea of Shavasana, which is a little death and rebirth when you come out of it. So on the death, that means that there's something to be let go of. Maybe a part of your ego that is no longer serving you, maybe a thought pattern that's no longer serving you, maybe something that you've been holding on to that you're going to let go of, or something you haven't thought about in a while that you're like, wait a minute, I'm actually incredibly grateful for that. Easy one could be your health. Because you know, whenever you get injured or when you get sick, you're like, oh, I've taken that for granted. And, I'll be the first one. I do that. And I need reminders. So if you need a reminder, that's a simple one. The fact that you can breathe and move, you're going to let something go. as you breathe, starting from the bottom of the feet to the top of the feet. If you're from the practical sort, you can just think of calming your nervous system down. If you want to dive a little more esoteric into it, you're going to treat your body like a temple, and you're going to thank the different body parts for doing what they do for you without you interfering, because your body does a ton for you. And it's amazing when you stop to actually think about it, all the things that it does for you. So take a big inhale. As you exhale, send the breath into the soles of the feet, the calves, the quads, the hamstrings. Maybe thank your feet for balancing you when you don't even have to think about it, or catching you when you fall forward, when you walk, or when you run, or when you step back, how it just naturally captures you and stabilizes you. Take another inhale. As you exhale, send the breath into the hips, the rib cage, the back, the small of the back, the mid back, the upper back. Think about how your back has your back when you go to pick things up, when you go to move objects, when you go to sleep and you lay flat on your back and it relaxes. And just send it some love. Take a big inhale. Send the exhale into the forearms, the arms, the shoulders. The chest will naturally open up. Give some props to your heart for beating, your lungs for breathing. And you'll notice something about breathing is that if you meditate on breathing, if you just focus on your breath, you start realizing, like, am I doing the breathing or am I being breathed? And it might take 5 minutes of meditation for you. It might take 10, 20, 30, 40 before you come to that realization that the breath is kind of moving in and out of you without you having to do anything or getting in the way. Take a big inhale. Send the exhale to the back of the neck, the jaw, the eyes. Sometimes people can store tension in these little pockets in the body. So if you've noticed that you've been storing tension in your jaw, just see if you can let that go. Take another big inhale. As you exhale, send the breath to the very top part of the head, letting the thoughts spill out. And if you are new to meditation, the first step or stage or level is just to notice your thoughts without engaging in them. And sometimes that can be tough to do, especially if the thoughts can provoke an emotion out of you that maybe hasn't been resolved, or that is still affecting you, or that causes a reaction rather than a observation. But like all things, it is practice. So just observe whatever thoughts are coming in and out. I got to do this, I got to do that, that's cool. Oh, I don't have to do this, I don't have to do that. That's fine as well. Just letting them all kind of be equal and intermingle. Staying in Shavasana, you'll start to wiggle the fingers and toes. Draw the knees towards the chest and roll to the right side of the body. They say in yoga that's more of the relaxed side, and if you wanted to be a little more active for the day, you would roll to the left side of the body. Pressing into the left palm, coming into a comfortable seated position. Okay, that was your fundamental yoga class, which we covered a lot of the warrior ones, a lot of the low lunges, the high lunges. That way, if you go through this flow and you go do an infinity flow, you're going to have a better understanding of those other asanas, especially if we use a warrior two or a crescent lunge or a low lunge as a transition. Last but not least, we're going to finish off class. And again, if I'm guessing that you're new to yoga, or that you might not know as much yoga as you thought you knew. So to keep it simple, this simply means I I'm going to look for the best in you, and please do that for me. And please, let's do it when we don't agree with one another, when we are miscommunicating, when we are having a go of it. That's when we have to look for the absolute best in one another. Thank you so much for allowing me to teach, and thank you, Rachel, for demonstrating. Namaste.